years of my life working for refugees, for the UN High Commissioner for Refugees. And my friend Hardeep Puri was India's ambassador to Geneva and sat on the executive committee of the UN High Commissioner for Refugees. So he understands that in keeping with India's long humanitarian traditions, we have a duty to uphold the principles of international law. You do not send refugees back to countries where they fear persecution. The Rohingyas are definitely persecuted. Their villages are burned. They've been arrested, killed, tortured, maimed, all sorts of things. And they've even been denied the protection of the country they live in, namely Burma, by Burma saying they're actually foreigners. Now, in those circumstances, it becomes imperative that when a refugee is able to find asylum, even temporary asylum somewhere, that you examine their claims and give them decent, humane treatment. Saying you'll deport them back to the country where they're being persecuted is a violation not just of international law, but of India's proud humanitarian traditions. We've had Tibetans in recent years, Sri Lankan Tamils, Bangladeshis in 71, East Bengalis as they were called, Nepalese during the Civil War. We have not sent any of them back to face certain harassment, torture or death. Why would we do that to the Rohingyas only because they're Muslim? I find this a completely unacceptable situation.
So Shashi Tharoor very clear that we cannot treat the Rohingyas any different to the way we've treated Sri Lankan Tamils, we've treated Tibetans, we've treated Parsis, if we could go back in history to centuries when they come into the country fearing persecution. Therefore, Colin Gonsalves, I want to understand where the Supreme Court stands. As was suggested by Siddharth Sharma, the Supreme Court stand seems to be, if the centre believes they are illegal, deport them. Is the Supreme Court clear on that? Or do you believe Siddharth Sharma is not being accurate about what the Supreme Court has said?
Not being accurate, to say the least. The matters came before the Supreme Court several times. And every time when the case law was shown to the court, its own judgments were shown to the court, as in the Chakma case and so on, that they have a right to life, they cannot be pushed back. The Supreme Court caused the central government to pause and said that until we hear all these matters, please don't take any precipitous step.
No, but while but Mr. Gonsalves, the centre in those cases has taken a clear stand in the court that Rohingyas are absolutely illegal immigrants who pose a serious threat to national security. That's what they've said. They do not have the fundamental right to stay in India. So while the court is hearing it, the centre has already said this very clearly there.
Well, the centre has said this for many, many years. But the centre is ashamed that this stand should be reported internationally, because they know they have not a leg to stand on in terms of Indian constitutional law and international law. Therefore, they say it. At the same time, you will notice there's a certain degree of moderation in the central government actual practice. They don't catch people and push them across the border. They know what terrible consequences that will have. Therefore, this whole thing about the centre and the state trying to appear more anti-Rohingya than the other is quite a shameful spectacle. It's very depressing to see the mighty central government and the wonderful Delhi government each trying to outdo the other and tell the public, I am more anti-Rohingya than you are. Look at my stand. For what? 200 square feet of an economically weaker section house. For 200 square feet, you use Rohingyas like a political football. Law-abiding people. You will not find Rohingyas breaking the law. And if you treat them well, they will rise in India and contribute towards economic power of India and political power.
Let me therefore ask you, no, Mr. Khurana, I'm going to ask you a straight question. I want a straight answer. Centuries ago, the Parsis came to this country, persecuted from them, Persia, we embraced them. Tibetan refugees, persecuted by the Chinese, we embraced them. We fought a war that led to the creation of Bangladesh when we accepted refugees who are coming across the border, persecution by the Pakistani army. Rohingyas are being persecuted in Myanmar. Have we changed as a nation that we now treat the same people as illegal immigrants who when they were Tibetans, when they were Sri Lankan Tamils, when they were going back to Parsis, we welcomed them? What has changed? Why are Rohingyas different?
A simple answer. A simple answer. If you want to take asylum in India, you are from Myanmar. You will take asylum across the border, just it. near the border. But you have come down to Delhi. You come down to Jammu Kashmir.
You
come
have
down
settled
to
them
any
in
other
Jammu and
part of
Kashmir.
the country.
You
Without
put
informing
up the
people,
centers in
without
Jammu and
informing the
Kashmir.
consent of the authority. Is it not an illegal immigrants? Is it not illegal? Without informing the people over there, without informing the
have set them up in
security
Jammu.
forces that we are coming to India, they have come down to Delhi. They will do some security threat to India. Who else is responsible? Who will be responsible? Tell me.
Okay. You have decided that they are a security
tell me.
threat. You have
If you want
decided
to
they are
take
a security
asylum,
threat.
you want to take asylum,
I will ask
take it
the
over
same.
there.
Okay, you made your point. I will ask Mr. Sharma again the same question. Do you believe that Rohingyas are different to Tibetan, Sri Lankan Tamils, Parsis in the past, and therefore must be treated as a threat to national security? A quick answer now.
Yes, it is any ethnic minority or any ethnic group of people coming from across the border, whether they are illegal or refugees, these things have to be decided by the court or the central government. They fall under the domain.
Okay.
This is a constitutional issue. This is not a political issue. As far as India is concerned, whenever an issue of national security raises up, there is cross-party unanimity. Even when during Indira Gandhi's time, Atal Bihari Vajpayee was sent to the United Nations, we take a united stand, notwithstanding the merits of the case. Now, as far as Rohingyas are concerned, they are not considered as refugees by the government of India because the government of India has not signed the Refugee Convention of the United Nations. So, who is stopping the government of India from going ahead and signing the United Nations Refugee Convention?
Effectively, the Aam Aadmi Party has passed the buck onto the centre and said it is for the centre to take the decision. It is for the centre to take the decision. At the end of the day, I ask you, the viewers, have we changed as a nation? That we no longer wish to embrace those who come fearing persecution from other countries. That, my friends, is a point to note. Or should their religious identity decide whether they are refugees or illegal immigrants? Think about it.